Speak clearly if you speak at all. Carve every word before you let it fall. With these words, I welcome each one of you to the fourth edition of Open Mic, a battle of oratory skills, a series of virtual sessions initiated by Takshila Educational Society to further ideas that foster critical thinking, self-expression, and ingenuity to facilitate better understanding of our world and its challenges. An initiative that has witnessed 4 seasons gives an opportunity to the budding artists to showcase their talent and boost their confidence in public speaking. A declamation is a formal speech that includes rhetorical language, demonstrative gestures, and forceful emphasis to get a speaker's point across. The art of declamation is at its heart about speaking passionately. In this finale of declamation segment, students of classes 6, 7, and 8 from Delhi public schools across Patna, Pune, Ludhiana, and Coimbatore express the art of emoting words to enhance opinions on the power of education. Let's attempt to know the significance of declamation. It is an endeavor to propagate diverse thoughts, themes, and perspectives. A healthy competition boosts one's talent, skills, and inculcates qualities of spiritedness, teamwork, and cooperation. Declamation is an artistic form of public speaking. It is a dramatic oration designed to express through emphasis, gestures, and by articulating the speech of any eminent personality. On behalf of Takshila Educational Society, I extend a very warm welcome to all present today. But before we begin, let me introduce you to a panel of jury. We are fortunate to have here with us Ms. Anupama Dalmia, a multiple award-winning blogger, author, digital content creator, serial entrepreneur, and writing mentor. She is a Karamveer Chakra Gold Medalist, which is a global civilian honor presented by the International Confederation of NGOs in association with the United Nations. She is among the most recognized parenting bloggers with more than 30 million views. Our next judge is Dr. Zishan Ali, holding a PhD from Patna University and a PGCTE from the English and Foreign Languages University, Hyderabad, is an accomplished academician. In 2010, she was awarded a Fulbright Fellowship, during which she completed multiple ELT and literature courses, including TESOL in the United States. Let me introduce you to a third judge, Ms. Dipti Sharma, a management graduate who has been working as a certified career counselor and an English communications instructor. Her passion lies in poetry, and Madam has also worked as an associate editor for a women's magazine called Pinky She. It's my honor to welcome our esteemed judge, Dr. Pramila Krishnan, the head of the Department of English at PSG Institute of Technology and Applied Research at Coimbatore. She has been providing training in industries, in communication skills and soft skills at IELTS and has trained over 70 Chinese students in IELTS. She has to her credit over 20 publications in national and international journals. We welcome our judges on board and seek their rich expertise and guidance. Remember, for us, every participant here is a winner, irrespective of any result. Once again, I would like to welcome all those who have joined us here to encourage, appreciate, and nurture our young orators in the form of inter-school competition. Before we commence, I would like to apprise all our viewers with the theme and rules of the competition on the basis of which they shall be judged. The theme for today's declamation competition is the power of education, for which each participant will be given only 3 minutes. I repeat, 3 minutes to speak. The participants must have restrained gesticulation and clear speech. Their pronunciation, fluency, body language, and voice modulation shall also be assessed. With this, we wish good luck to all the participants. May the best one win. Our first speaker for the day is code D01. Please note code D01.
Good evening, I'm code D01. I will declaim the speech delivered by Barack Obama. I am here today because I want to talk with you about your education. I have talked about teachers' responsibility for inspiring the students and pushing you to learn. I have talked about parents' responsibility for making sure you stay on track. But at the end of the day, we can have the most dedicated teachers, the most supportive parents, the best schools in the world. And none of it will matter and make a difference unless all of you fulfill your responsibilities. Unless you pay attention and put in the hard work it takes you to succeed. Every single one of you has something that you're good at. Every single one of you has something to offer. And you have a responsibility to yourself to discover what that is. This is an opportunity education can provide. And no matter what you want to do with your life, you want to become a doctor or a teacher or a police officer, a lawyer or a member of a military, you are going to need a good education for every single one of those careers. You cannot drop out of school and drop into a good job. You have got to train for it, work for it, and learn for it. The circumstances of your life, what you look like, where you come from, how much money you have, what is going at your home. None of that is an excuse for neglecting your homework or having a bad attitude in school. There's no excuse for talking back to your teacher or cutting classes or dropping out of school. There is no excuse for not trying. Where you are right now doesn't have to determine where you will end up. But the truth is, being successful is hard. Not every homework assignment will seem completely irrelevant to your life right at this minute. Some of the most successful people in the world are the ones who have had the most failures. J.K. Rowling, who wrote Harry Potter, her first book was rejected 12 times before it was finally published. Michael Jordan, he missed thousands of shots and lost hundreds of matches in his career. But he once said, I have failed in my life over and over again, and that's why I succeed. These people succeeded because they understood you can't let your failures define you. You have to let your failures teach you. No one's born being good at all things. People get good at things through hard work. Don't be afraid to ask questions. And even when you're struggling, when you're discouraged, and you think people have given up on you, you don't give up on yourself. Thank you.
Our second speaker is code D02. I repeat, D02.
Good evening. I am code D02, and today I am going to declaim a speech delivered by the ex-US President Barack Hussein Obama at the Mapleton School of Arts. We are the nation that has always understood that our future is inextricably linked to the education of our children. We have always believed in Thomas Jefferson's declaration that talent and virtue needed in a free society should be educated, regardless of wealth or birth. Every single one of you has something that you're good at, and you have a responsibility to yourself to discover what that is. That's the opportunity an education can provide. Maybe you could be a good writer, maybe even good enough to write a book or articles in a newspaper. But you might not even know about it until you write a paper for your class. Maybe you could be an innovator or an inventor, maybe even good enough to come up with the next iPhone or a new medicine or vaccine. But you might not even know about it until you do a project for your science class. Maybe you could be a mayor or a senator or a Supreme Court justice. But you might not know that until you join student government or debate team. You will need the knowledge and problem solving skills you learn in science and math to cure diseases like cancer and develop new energy technologies and protect our environment. And no matter what you want to do with your life, I guarantee that you will need an education to do it. Education also teaches you the value of discipline, that the greatest rewards come not from instant gratification, but from sustained effort. And this isn't just important for your own life and your own future. What you make of your education will decide nothing less than the future of this country. What you are learning in school today will determine whether we as a nation can meet our greatest challenges in the future. Thank you.
Moving on next is code D03. Please note code D03.
Good evening, everyone. Today, I, code D03, will declaim a speech by Kofi Annan addressing the World Education Forum. As we open the 21st century, we do have some achievements to celebrate. Educational levels in many developing countries have climbed dramatically. The percentage of adult illiterates in the world has declined steadily. And yet, according to conservative estimates, more than 110 million school-age children are not attending school. The most tragic and unjust dimension of this state of affairs is this. Of the 110 million children who should be in school and who are not, 2/3 are girls. Nothing illustrates their burden more amply than the impact of HIV/AIDS. Girls are more likely than boys to care for a sick family member and help keep the household running. Deprived of basic schooling, they are denied information on how to protect themselves against the virus. Thus, they pay many times over the deadly price of not getting an education. But by the same token, education is the tool whereby we can break the vicious cycle of AIDS and ignorance. The key to all the locks that are keeping girls out of school, from poverty to inequality to conflict, lies in basic education for all. It is often said that education empowers girls by building up their confidence and enabling them to make informed decisions about their lives. For those of us who attend conferences such as these, that statement may seem to be about university degrees, income, or career fulfillment. But for most of the world's girls, it is about something much more fundamental. It is about escaping the trap of child labor or the perils of going into the labor of childbirth while still a child yourself. It is about being able to earn an income when women before you earned none. about protecting yourself against violence and enjoying rights which women before you never knew they had, about taking part in economic and political decision making. Finally, it is about educating your children to do the same and their children after them. It is about ending a spiral of poverty and impotence, which previously seemed to have no end. Thank you.
Speaking next is code D04. I repeat, code D04.
Good evening, everyone. My code is D04. Today I'm here to declaim a stimulating speech by Miss Shakira Isabel, delivered at the 23rd Annual Crystal Awards. Thank you so much. Thank you for the honor of this award and for the opportunity to speak to you all. Today, we know more than ever about the early years of child development, especially that of the brain of a child who's nourished and nurtured, read to, and played with. Studies have proven that the children who receive proper care and nutrition in the first 5 years of life do much better in school and in life. If we don't attend to these kids in time, we are talking about intergenerational cycles of poverty and inequality. And the wider the gap of inequality grows, the harder it becomes to reach across it. And the more numerous the faces of those born into poverty, the more difficult to see and empathize with each individual and recognize that if not for the pure geography of where they were born, they could be one of our children. This should make us all furious. This should make us all want to take action because we all have a stake in the outcome. The world is facing some serious challenges. Will this generation of kids be ready to take on the task of providing food security? Will they be prepared to come up with solutions and innovations to climate change, unemployment, and the most complex issues that our society faces? We need to educate our children. Education empowers individuals, fostering critical thinking, creativity, and innovation. It promotes social mobility, reduces poverty, and fosters social cohesion. Through education, individuals develop the ability to make informed decisions, overcome challenges, and fulfill their potential. That's the only way. Education also plays a crucial role in reducing poverty and inequality as it equips individuals with the skills needed to secure decent employment and improve their living conditions. I have seen what education can do, what the investment in education can do. Miracles. And believe me, there is nothing more fun and satisfying than seeing a child who had almost no possibilities to succeed and flourish, thrive, and perform well in life. We need to invest in humans. Thank you.
We now move on to our next participant, D05. Code D05.
Good evening, all. My code is D05, and today I'm here to declaim a thought-provoking speech by Ms. Sarojini Naidu given at the Indian Social Conference. In moving this resolution, I beg to make a slight amendment and substitute the word Indian for Hindu, for education knows no caste or creed or province. It seems to me a paradox, at once touched with humor and tragedy, that on the very threshold of the 20th century, it should still be necessary for us to stand upon public platforms and pass resolutions in favor of what is called female education in India. The women themselves, with one voice, pleaded their own cause most eloquently. But when it came to the man, there was division in the camp. Many men doubtlessly proved themselves true friends of education, but others there were who took fright at the very word. What? They cried. Educate our women? What then will become of the comfortable domestic ideals as exemplified by the luscious halwa and the savory omelette? Others again were neither for Jove nor for Jehovah, but were for compromise, bringing forward a whole syllabus of compromises. Teach this, they said, not that. But my friends, in the matter of education, you cannot flay thus far, but no further. Neither can you say to the winds of heaven, blow not where ye list, nor forbid the waves to cross their boundaries, nor yet the human soul to soar beyond the bounds of arbitrary limitations. The power of education extends beyond personal growth. It is the key driver of social change. Education promotes equality and social justice by providing opportunities for all, regardless of their social or economic background. It equips individuals with tools to challenge the societal norms, combat prejudice, and advocate for change. Therefore, I charge you, restore to your women their ancient rights. For I have said it is we and not you who are the real nation builders. And without our active cooperation at all points of progress, all your congresses and their conferences are in vain. Educate your women, and the nation will take care of itself. For it is true today as it was yesterday, and will be till the end of human life that the hand that rocks the cradle is the power that rules the world. Thank you.
I now invite code D06. Code D06.
Good evening. I am code D06 and I'm here to declare an inspirational speech orated by Michelle Obama, the former First Lady of the United States of America, at an event at Columbia University on 13th November of 2013. All of you are proving that it is not your circumstance that define your future. It's your attitude. It's your commitment. You are the one who decide how high you set your goal. You are the one who decide how hard you're going to work for it. And you are the one who decide how you're going to respond when things do not go your way. And here's the thing. Studies show that skills like grit and determination, skills like resilience and optimism, they can be just as important as your test scores or your grade scores or your grades. And most of you already have those skills in you because of everything you have already overcome in your lives. Maybe you have a problem at your home. You had to step up, take up an extra responsibility for your family. Maybe you come from a tough neighborhood and you've been surrounded by things like violence and drugs. Maybe one of your parents lost a job and you had to struggle hard just to make it here today. One of the most important things you all must understand is that those experiences are not weaknesses. They're not something to be ashamed of. Those experiences can make you more stronger and determined. Experiences that can teach you skills that you will not learn in a classroom. Skills that can lead you to success anywhere in life. But first, you're going to apply these skills in getting an education. So, what does that mean? That means, first and foremost, believing in yourself, no matter what obstacle you face. That means going to school every day. That's what I did, and not just showing up, but actually paying attention, taking some notes, asking questions. That means doing your homework every single night. I did. And studying for every single test, even if it's not your favorite subject. That means reaching out to your teachers, your counselors, or your coaches for help when you need it. And when you stumble and fall, and I guarantee you, you will. When you do that, you gotta pick yourself up and try again and again and again. This is my message for all of you today. And over the next few years, I will go all around the country and all around the world and convey the same message to students just like you. Thank you.
I now invite code D07. Code D07.
Good evening. I am code D07 and today I will be declaiming a very powerful speech given by the UN Secretary General, Antonio Guterres. A good evening to you all and thank you to everyone involved in the Education Above All Foundation. Through your investment, your advocacy, and your vision, you are bringing to life the dream that each and every child has to an education, to a seat in the classroom, to a future. When we educate a child, we give her more than books, papers, pencils, or a calculator. We give her the tools, the skills, and the imagination she needs to shape the world around her, to change the world around her, and to make her society and her community a better, more prosperous place in the years ahead. As a global community, we must question, can we afford to leave behind an entire gender, half of humanity, as a matter of their rights and our best interests? Can we afford to ignore the staggering numbers? 63 million children denied a seat in the classroom. 250 million struggling with basic skills and 200 million adolescents left out. Will we stand by as injustice prevails, with girls being denied an education while their brothers flourish? These are not just statistics. These are hundreds of millions of individual children, individual lives. They are the disadvantaged, kept out of the classroom because of poverty, distance, or discrimination. They are the children of conflict, living through humanitarian nightmares and facing the worst of humanity. They are tragically girls made to stay home and do housework while their brothers go to school. But for the prosperity of our world, for the future of our world, there is no better an investment than in education. Hence, Sustainable Development Goals. These call for three things: starting early, prioritizing the marginalized, and emphasizing quality. Your leadership and your vision are essential as we fulfill the promises the governments made to each and every child. Thank you for lending your hands and your hearts to this compelling cause, the cause of our children. Their future is our future. Thank you.
I now invite code D08. Code D08.
Good evening to one and all present here. This is code D08 and today I'm here to present the speech given by the CEO of Microsoft, Mr. Satya Nadella. My great-grandfather, who was a marginal farmer, had just passed away, leaving my great-grandmother, a young widow with two sons and no source of income. My great-grandmother opted to send the more responsible, diligent son into the workforce. Over there, he became a day laborer at a construction site. The other son was sent to a local school, and that boy was my grandfather. He continued through the school and eventually became a police officer. Despite entering the workforce nearly a decade after his brother, his starting salary was exponentially higher. It was my grandfather's education and eventual career that allowed my father to pursue his own education, which eventually allowed me to follow my own passions. The opportunity which was given to my grandfather impacted the trajectories of the upcoming generation. This personal story reflects that often repeated adage talent is everywhere, but opportunity is not. So, today, the topic for our discussion is education and digital technology. More specifically, it is about empowering the students of today to create the world of tomorrow and how every aspects of our lives, economies, and societies are being shaped by education and digital technology. We are under no illusion that technology alone is the answer to transforming education. Dedicated administrators, great teachers, motivated students, and involved parents and communities are the ones changing education. And education, it's just a tool to empower their creativity and their ingenuity. We must prepare our students for tomorrow. Lastly, democratizing educational opportunities must be inclusive of everyone and not just a selected few. To close, I would like to ask everybody to imagine the world we are building for tomorrow and how can we collectively come together to democratize every single educational opportunities for the students of this generation and the generation to come. Thank you. Thank you all very much.
I now invite code D09. Code D09.
Good evening. I'm code D09 and I'm here to declaim a speech by Helle Thorning-Schmidt. Education is the most empowering force in the world. It creates knowledge, builds confidence, and breaks down the barriers to opportunity. For children, it is their key to open the doors to a better life. However, it is a sad reality of our world today that millions of children will never receive this key. They are destined to stay locked in the cycles of disadvantage and poverty. I think Malala described this heart-wrenching situation best when she said, in some parts of the world, students are going to school every day. But in other parts of the world, we are starving for education. It's like a precious gift. This cannot continue. All children deserve to receive the precious gift of education. Under the Sustainable Development Goals, we are committed to give all children an inclusive and quality education by 2030. We are a group of governments, business, and cultural leaders who have produced a roadmap for how to live up to the education promise, a vision for how to create the learning generation. It will not be easy to achieve, but it can be done. We know this is possible because a quarter of the world's countries are improving their education systems fast and equipping their children with the skills they need for the future. We must reach every last child. We will not close the global learning gap unless leaders take steps to include and support those at greatest risk of being out of school. The poor, the discriminated against, girls, and those facing multiple disadvantages. Education equals better lives, access to decent work, improved health and life outcomes, and
the dignity that comes from the ability to know and stand up for your human rights. We need to prioritize education. However, we cannot do it alone. We need governments, business, and even individual citizens to step up. The case for education is indisputable, and we have no time to waste. Millions of children and youth around the world cannot wait any longer. Please join us in our effort to create the learning generation. Thank you.
I now invite Code D10. Code D10.
Good evening, everyone. My code is D10. Today I am here to declaim an engrossing speech by Mr. Satya Nadella. Today's event is about education and technology. More specifically, it is about empowering the students of today to create the world of tomorrow. We live as an amazing time of technological progress. Every aspect of our life, economies, and societies are being shaped by digital technologies. The real question is, how can technology create more opportunity in education, not for a few, but for all? Addressing that question is core to our mission to empower education to achieve more. As I have spent time visiting these classrooms, a few things stick out to me each time. First, technology should help, not hinder teachers' work in the classroom. Teachers have constant demands on their time. Secondly, the nature of work is changing drastically. We need to prepare our students for the future and enable team-based learning experiences in the classroom amongst group of students. What you will see today is how any classroom can promote learning through collaboration. In the rapidly changing world, the power of education extends beyond formal schooling. Lifelong learning, which encompasses all learning activities undertaken throughout life, is becoming increasingly important. However, democratizing educational opportunity must be inclusive for everyone, not just a select few. To me, this is something that's deeply personal. This also includes students with disabilities and different learning styles. They must be given an opportunity to pursue their own dreams. As our world continues to evolve, the power of education will only grow. With the advent of technology and the rise of knowledge economy, education will play an increasingly important role in equipping individuals with skills and knowledge necessary to thrive in the rapidly changing world. To close, I want everyone to imagine the world we are building for tomorrow. How can we collectively come together to democratize educational opportunity for every student, both for this generation and the generations to come? Thank you all very, very much.
Our next speaker is Code D11. Please note Code D11.
Good evening. I'm Code D11. I'm going to declaim a powerful and inspiring speech on the topic, the power of education, crafted by President Barack Obama at Booker T. Washington High School on May 16th, 2011. Through education, you can learn to better yourself in other ways. Learn how to learn. Think critical and find solutions to unexpected challenges. I remember we used to ask our teachers, why am I going to need algebra? Well, you do not have to solve for X to get a great job or to be a good parent. But You have to think through tough problems. Think on your feet so you can gather facts and evaluate information. So, my teachers, you can tell your students that the president says they need algebra. Education also teaches us the value of discipline. But the greatest awards don't come from instant gratification, but from sustained efforts and hard work. This is a lesson especially true today. In a culture where prizes flash over a substance that tells us that life is to be entertained. It says you can be famous just for being famous. Or you get on a reality show. Without knowing what you've done, suddenly you're famous. But that doesn't lead to lasting sustained achievement. And finally, with the right education, both at home and in school, you can learn to become a better human being. For instance, you read a great book or you learn an important moment in our history. You will know what it's like to be in other shoes, to know their struggles. The success of our economy depends on your skills, but the success of our community depends on your ability to follow the goal to rule, to treat others the way you want to be treated. Thank you.
The last speaker of today is code D12. Code D12.
Good evening. I'm code D12 and I'm going to declaim a powerful and inspiring speech orated by the youngest Nobel Prize laureate, Malala Yousafzai at the United Nations. Dear friends, on the 9th of October 2012, the Taliban shot me on the left side of my forehead. They shot my friends too. They thought that the bullets would silence us, but they failed. And then, out of their silence, came thousands of voices. The terrorists thought that they would change my aims and stop my ambitions. But nothing changed in my life except this. Weakness, fear, and hopelessness died. Strength, power, and courage was born. I am the same Malala. My ambitions are the same. My hopes are the same. My dreams are the same. So here I stand, one girl among many. I'm here to speak up for the right of education of every child. Dear brothers and sisters, we realize the importance of light when we see darkness. We realize the importance of our voice when we are silenced. In the same way, we realized the importance of books and pens when we saw the guns. The wise saying, the pen is mightier than the sword. It is true. I raise my voice for those who have fought for their rights to be educated. Education is the most empowering force in the world. It creates knowledge, builds confidence, and breaks down barriers to opportunities. Dear brothers and sisters, we want schools and education for every child's bright future. We will speak up for our rights and we will bring change through our voice. We believe in the power of education and the strength of our words. Our words can change the whole world because we are all together, united for the cause of education. And if we want to achieve our goals, then let us empower ourselves with the weapon of knowledge. And let us shield ourselves with unity and togetherness. So let us wage a global struggle against illiteracy, poverty, and terrorism. And let us pick up our books and pens. They are our most powerful weapons. One child, one teacher, one book, and one pen can change the world. Education is the only solution. Education first. Thank you.
One who fears failure limits his activities. Therefore, I congratulate all the participants for exhibiting their brilliant speaking skills and courage to stand on this platform and face the audience. I would now like to call upon our eminent judges to enlighten us and motivate the participants of the day. I would like to call Dr. Zishan Ali to share her thoughts.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening to the judges. Thank you for inviting me to judge this DPS Inter-School Declamation Open Mic competition. It was nice knowing the other judges also. The contest was a resounding success. It showcased an array of talented speakers. I could see participants were from different grades. They delivered powerful renditions of famous speeches and displayed impressive skills in oration and also in emotional expression. So it was impressive to see such talented speakers. Now, if I have to add something, I would only talk about voice modulation, especially, observing proper rhythm, stress, when it comes to word stress, where to put the word stress, where to put the sentence stress. Then, also use of pause is extremely important to make yourself sound natural, because the speech is a power. It's like a rendition. It's like you're doing it again. So you cannot imitate it, but then you can make it your way, but it should be as natural as possible. So otherwise, it was a wonderful experience, and thank you so much again for inviting me over here.
Thank you, ma'am, for your valuable inputs. Now I invite Ms. Anupma Dalmia to enrich us with her pearls of wisdom.
Well, honestly, I think I'm also going back with a lot of wisdom from the kids, because I think it's always a two-way learning process. So firstly, thank you so much, DPS Pune, for organizing this event. I think it's very important to give a voice to the kids today. So I think it's a great platform. I absolutely love being here. And as my fellow judge also shared that it was just amazing to see all the talented kids, the eloquence, the passion. I think it was fabulous. And, just to add to what she was saying about the voice modulation, there is something which, has stayed with me, which was told to me long back by a senior person that, when you're speaking, more than, the diction or, confidence, what is important is your conviction. And I think when you truly feel and believe in what you're saying, your entire body speaks and not just you. And that is what actually makes the delivery natural, because then you're actually feeling it all. And, so I always keep telling kids, don't worry about fumbling, things like that. At the end of the day, what matters is, did you speak with conviction? So when you focus there, I'm sure as you practice more, as you do more of such events, you will surely get better, because you all are extremely talented. And I also love the choice of speeches. I think it brought in different, perspectives. And these are all famous speeches, but I think we all need those reminders, right? So very relevant today as well. In fact, all of those thoughts about education and especially, for the girl child and women. So thank you once again.
Thank you, ma'am, for your encouraging words. I request Ms. Dipti Sharma to enlighten the young speakers.
Hello, everyone. The fellow judges, Anupama, I know through a community.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and, so good to see Dr. Zishan and Noha. And thank you, DPS Society, Takshila Society, for inviting me here. So, I would, the other judges have mentioned what needed to be said about. Otherwise, I thought that it was really a good event, very well presented. The kids were all very well prepared. And it was so good to see so many girl participants. So I was really, and my son has also gone to DPS, so I could actually relate to those kids even more. So well done, all the kids. And as a career counselor, I would just add up that winning and losing is not really that important. It's like keep doing, keep participating in such co-curricular and extracurricular activities. because as I said, as a career counselor, I can tell you that these will help you get admission when you go in for university admissions abroad, or even now here also in India as well. So many private good universities, they actually look at your profile and what extracurricular and co-curricular activities at certain level you've done. So keep going at it, and it was just great. And just pay attention to whatever the other fellow judges have mentioned. I think that is what is important, where to put stress, which syllables. It is like when you intonation and all, when you go deeply into it, you understand that which syllables are need to be stressed and where you need to be a little subtle. So just pay attention on that, and just be a little more in control of your body language and your expression. It's not important to be really overtly expressive on each and every word. So just take care of these small things. Otherwise, you people just rock today. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for motivating our young orators. I would like to call Dr. Pramila Krishnan to motivate and encourage the young orators.
Thank you, ma'am, and good evening. I would like to thank the organizers for giving me an opportunity. This was a very well organized event. Right from the beginning, from the time I got the call till now, it is very well organized. I would like to thank the organizers for that and appreciate the organizers as well. Coming to the event itself, all the kids were amazing. I'm not telling this for the sake of telling. I know how difficult it is to speak on a forum. And memorizing those wonderful speeches definitely is not an easy task. I don't think I would have done it I would have done even 10% of what the kids did. Yeah, sorry. Sorry, I forgot to switch on the video. So they did an amazing job. And as the previous judges told, one thing I noticed is the previous judge also told the same thing. They don't have to dramatize each and every word. I just felt that they were kind of overacting, like it was like they were mono acting kind of a thing. But they are just kids, so it is okay. That is one thing. And overstressing on words, that is another thing. And gesturing on almost every word, those things could have been avoided. But on the whole, it is highly commendable. It's, as I said, it's not easy to come like that and speak. So I don't think I should even comment on the other aspect, but I just thought I would share that. And then just one thing about education, since all the kids spoke about education, we all know what is required. One aspect of education is today, what is very important for children is the emotional balance. That is very, very important today. So these children probably are very confident, and education today should also teach children that emotional balance. EQ is more important than IQ today for them to be very successful in the future. Thank you very much.
A million thanks to our kind judges for their enlightening and very thought-provoking words. I would also like to extend a special thanks to all the participants who prepared for this event and faced the auditions. We would like to express and acknowledge our speakers for today. The Patna team comprised of Vaishnavi Singh of 7I, Sparsh Sinha of 8H, and Rashri of 7F. The speakers from Pune were Ashriya Pandey, 8G, Sanika Neeraj Bhutada of 8D, and Nozomi Baghdadi of 7E. The Ludhiana team members were Priyanshi Jain of 8E, Srijita Bhattacharya of 7B, and Sana Jain of 6F. From Coimbatore, the participants were Sachit Sriram of 6B, Akansha Suranjan Pai of 7A, and Prarthana Vishnukant of 8A. Education is a passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs only to the people who prepare it for today. Education is the most empowering force in the world. It creates knowledge, builds confidence, and breaks down barriers to opportunity. For children, it is the key to open the door to a better life. The result of the declamation competition will be uploaded on the school website tomorrow. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow, that is 31st January at 5 p.m. to witness the debate competition for students of classes 9 to 12. Wishing a great evening to all. Thank you.